Kristin Tattar in the news again.
OTB extends their reach in disc golf.
Nick goes caddy.
Weird happenings at the recent DGPT event.
And stay tuned to the end of the episode for yet another discount code to save you some money.
You're listening to The Disc Golf Show.
That's right. You are listening to The Disc Golf Show. This is episode number 11 on the 20th of May, 2024. This episode brought to you in part by Final Nine Sports. 2 locations in California, 1 in Rockland, 1 in Orangeville. Support local. You know you should. Do it. Just do it. There you go. My name is Justin. With me today, this
Nick,
guy.
That's me.
That's right. It is you. Let's jump into it, Nick. What do we got?
All right. First things first. Let's get this out of the way.
Okay.
Because you're going to give me garbage for it, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Nobody.
Okay. All right.
Couple things about our beloved Kristin Tattar. Kristin Tattar. I need to get used to that. Recently, first female, 4-digit, 1,000 rated.
Yep.
Awesome. Totally cool to see that finally happen. It's been a long time coming because it seemed like every time it was like, oh, come on, one point still.
Right.
The other thing is she literally just yesterday, I think it was, or might have been this morning actually, just made a post stating that she will not be playing until around July 12th for the Copenhagen Open.
Right.
Due to she's doing renovations at her house.
Which is awesome.
And stuff all over the floor, renovations, right?
Right.
She trips and breaks a rib. Rib, dude. Rib.
And here's the thing is like a rib, you don't even necessarily go to the hospital for that because you want to know why? They can't do anything.
It has to mend.
Yeah.
Like
the best they can do is just kind of maybe wrap them, but that's it. Like that. There's nothing they can't set it. It's a rib.
Dude, and depending on which rib, like just breathing.
Oh, dude.
Just breathing.
Just breathing in and out.
I'm hoping it's like just a little
like
edge.
A little fracture.
Yeah, not like a, but she did make a post stating that. So we wish her a speedy recovery and
yeah, not fun.
Don't come back too soon, but come back soon.
Right.
You know what I mean? Eagle. Another thing, there is a new product that we recently came across.
Yes.
It's called Disqovery, not DISC, which you would think would be how it would be spelled. It's
That's how spell checker wants to.
Yeah, DISQ. So yes. Disqovery with a Q instead of a C. It looks like what it is a stamp of sorts in which it's a QR code that you actually log it in. And that way, when somebody finds it, they can see who logged it in and whose disc it was, and their information there. So you could, I think, contact them through that app, and then an easier way, or I shouldn't say, an additional way, in which you may be able to get your disc back.
Now, would this be acceptable in the place of the PDGA standard where you have to have your name on it?
Well, it would be a unique
identifier,
a unique QR code. Yeah, technically, yeah, you have to have a unique identifier. Now, it doesn't have to be your name. It doesn't have to be anything. It just has to be markings to distinguish your disc from somebody else's in case, slim chance, in case somebody's throwing the exact same disc, color, stamp that is indistinguishable. But yeah, I mean,
then it would be, okay.
I think it's a great idea because it's going to be a single, again, if it actually takes off, which it would be neat to see, it would be one place. So then anybody who picks it up, who let's say is in another state for some reason, or somebody's in your state, they find your disc, they fly home, now it's in another state. If they happen to put it on there and you have an account or something, then you could go on there and check your, I'm sure, account to where you go, oh, did I get a message from somebody?
Right.
That way it's one place. That way that person doesn't have to contact the local pro shop, or they forgot and get back home and you're kind of SOL. Right. But it's just again, like I said, it's more of an additional way for the possibility of getting your plastic back or your disc, because now things are more than just plastic. But So I thought that's a cool thing. We'll be getting some more information on that.
I'd love to see it and test it out because I have all kinds of questions about durability and how hard is it to remove that, and if you mess up a little bit of that QR code, will it still find it? Like,
that would be good.
I got questions.
Rough it up a little bit. And see if it would work still.
How it withholds. Like, I'm very interested in how it creates it and how it actually stamps it. Yeah. But I guess we'll find out in maybe next episode.
I hope so.
All right.
Another one is recently OTB and Discraft formed a partnership for a new course for a, it's a 3-year sponsorship from Discraft for a new course, Faylor Lake Disc Golf Course. Yep. So it's from the people that are involved, from what I understand, the quality of course is going to be up there. So
nice.
They're looking at, having it whenever I shouldn't say that. Whenever the people involved in this,
what do you mean these people
in this course, get their hands on property like this, it's the goal of having it as being a tour stop.
Right.
Because all you're doing from here on out, I mean, even with the recent course that's supposed to go in here, soon. Yes, it's not going to be tour level, like pro tour level,
sure,
but it's definitely like one of those in between steps of like old school tour, way back in the day tour, and current tour level courses. So the goal is always whatever plot of land you have, you want to make the best product you can.
Absolutely.
And best course for people. So with the people that are involved in this, I do not see it being bad in any form.
Right.
So, shout out to OTB and Discraft for that. The other thing was recently, the 2025 Champions Cup, which is a major, was announced for it to be coming to the recent location of the OTB Open. So Swenson Golf Course, Swenson Park Disc Golf Course. And I can get into that layout later on when we talk about that. Yeah. But it will be, there's a couple things. One, it is the first both MPO and FPO major. This, again, the only reason I say that is because we did have a major here 3 years ago. USWDGC was here in 2021. So that's like the first overall major, I guess.
Okay.
But for both the MPO and FPO divisions being a major, it's the first one on the West Coast since 2014, which was up in Oregon. So which was Pro Worlds.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that because I'm already thinking we need to go to that.
Yeah.
So we'll mark that down on the calendar right now.
Right.
And then another note here is that we also heard that good old Nate Doss is making a return. And that is going to be at this year's Beaver State Fling, which is coming up.
Yeah, that's a good one to come back to too.
Yeah. So it's in his neck of the woods. I mean, literally.
Well, yeah.
So
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, good shout out to him. I mean, we've seen him in person down here at Shady Oaks before.
Yes.
So really nice guy. And we look forward to seeing where he's placing when he comes back in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
That will be interesting. Yeah, because he has he's multiple major winner. So like, he has that DNA in him. So
I mean, his name is Nate Doss.
Yeah.
Pretty much, if you've been following disc golf for a while, you know who he is.
You know who he is. Yeah. So, congrats for coming back, and we look forward to seeing your play at the Beaver State Fling.
Super excited for that, actually.
Yeah. But also, we get into the meat of the stuff.
Oh, yes.
So, last weekend, there wasn't a Pro Tour event. However, there were some A tiers that came through. And there was a Pro Tour, but it was a European Pro Tour event, which is good in and of itself.
No, yeah.
But there were a couple recent A tiers that we just wanted to notate. So,
all right.
You want to mention those?
No, you were on a roll. Keep going.
Sweet.
Yeah.
First one, which is an event that everybody's heard of is the Las Vegas Challenge, presented by Innova. And the winners there will cruise on through this because, you know, they're A tiers, right? They're big events. These events are big events.
Absolutely.
They've been around a long time. So MPO winner there was Connor Rock. So new name you may or may not have heard of. FPO, Lykke Lorentzen. So shout out to Lucky, if you want to call her that.
Right.
And then on the same weekend was which I've had the pleasure of playing in the AM weekend of this event, was when it was called the Steady Ed Memorial.
Yes.
But it is now called it's been called, I guess, for a little bit. Yes. 2024 Santa Cruz Masters Cup Pro, presented by DGA. And the winners there, MPO, Ezra Robinson, which you've been seeing his name pop up a lot at all the events this year.
Yeah.
And then FPO winner, I mean, you may have heard this person.
Right. Ohn Scoggins.
Yeah, maybe. But she won that one. So, and then the other one, the Europe DGPT event was the Copenhagen Open 2024. And we had...
I got to watch pretty much all of that one.
Oh, did you watch that one?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Well, you could fill me in on some of that stuff because I actually didn't watch...
really?
I saw snippets and clips.
Clippets. No, I like clippets. Let's go with that. You heard it here first. Clippets.
Yeah. So what happened?
Lots of stuff. Really good. Fun to watch.
Okay.
There you go.
Sweet. MPO winner. I think it's Yessi. I think it's how you pronounce it, right? Nieminen was your MPO winner. And then FPO winner, another big win, Eveliina Salonen, it's just awesome to see. Like I was talking with somebody recently about the fact that she's found her putt.
Oh, yeah. And this was definitely a case of that as well. She was putting on a show for the most part, you know. I mean, yes, obviously she won, but couldn't really fault much of her game. It was... classic Eveliina when her putt is on, and it was, and there you go. Enough said, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and then a big shout out to the captain himself, Paul Ulibarri. He was leading at the Copenhagen Open. He didn't finish in first, but he did finish in fourth. And he tied for fourth, and he had an ace. That was his first time playing there, and he had an ace, and it was filmed. So if you haven't seen it, go find it. It's a sweet ace, and obviously everybody erupts in excitement from it. But it's always cool to see an ace on camera, and big shout out to Yuli for that.
Absolutely.
Now,
the big event.
The big event was
Don't sue us.
Yeah. So just recently, 17th through the 19th was the 2024 OTB Open, and that is in Stockton here. That is, again, like I said, where the major is going to be coming next year. I was lucky enough to caddy for buddy of the show, Roger, for Saturday and Sunday. Yep. I wish I would have caddied on Friday.
Oh,
you know why?
Why?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because he got carded with Yuli.
Oh,
he got carded with Yuli in the first round, so that was super awesome. He mentioned a couple things to me. One of them is people are taller in person. So why I'm saying this is, let's say, what height do you think Yuli is? I mean, now I said he's taller in person, so you're going to go higher than
6 foot.
No, he's 5'11". He's 5'11".
Okay.
However, and no knocking on you, okay, Yuli. When you do your videos standing next to Germ, it doesn't help. It doesn't help.
No.
Germ makes everybody look small. So
because he's big.
Yeah.
Germ.
So when I got there on Saturday, all the pros are there and everything, and because I'm caddying, it was kind of cool because I got to go up on the stage and they had like couches and stuff for the people waiting to tee off because you have to be there 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And I saw him walking by and I'm like, Roger was not lying. He is taller than I thought he'd be in person.
Right.
I'm not saying that he was short, but I didn't realize he was almost 6 foot tall.
Right.
Because in the videos, Big Germ makes him look tiny.
Yeah. He's not Tom Cruise. They're not going to put him on the same level.
No,
as Big
he's
Germ,
not. What is that?
Just because he's Tom
5'6"?
Cruise. That guy's tiny.
5'4"?
He's like 5'4", yeah.
Is he? Cruz is 5'4"?
5'2", 5'4", somewhere in there. He's
Yeah.
really small for a dude.
But yeah, so you know who else I saw there? Well, I saw everybody. You know who is a tank?
Who?
Albert Tom, which he's a tank in video too.
Okay, yeah.
So we're parking, right? And I think it was actually when we were leaving the first day. Wasn't able to stay there. I mean, we got there a little bit early so Roger could practice and stuff. But after we were done, he had stuff to do with his family. So we basically left right after the event or after the round was over. But we go out to his trailer, and right next to it is a car. The car, I want to say, is a Scion XA. Okay. Do you know what an XA is?
No.
It's a little roller skate.
Okay,
of a car.
It's tiny. Okay.
And I guess on Friday, Roger had said something to him of like, is that your tour car? Because how do you drive that? And he joked, he was like, oh, I pulled the back seat out. But yeah, he was there. Obviously, all the other guys, I got some pictures and stuff like that of the practice putting area and all the people that were there. And the event being able to be, again, like I said, last I think I mentioned it, right? Trying to be, maybe it was a post, being inside the ropes, right?
Okay,
being inside the ropes, catting for somebody. It was very well managed. Apparently on Saturday, they were going to have a bigger fly mart in the evening, but just the amount of tents and people selling their product prior to that fly mart happening was awesome. Because you know who we saw there?
Who's that?
Dyer's Guild.
Oh, cool.
Which we have one of those items.
We do.
I talked to him. I just wanted to assure him that it is in the queue.
Oh, it's in the queue. It's in the queue.
But him and one of the other guys were there, so I said hi to them. I didn't catch Stokely, but I saw he was there, walking around. And then there's a bunch of product, there's a bunch of other companies out there selling their goods. So, and then artists were there painting a bunch of stuff, which was really, really neat. That's
cool. Yeah.
So there was a couple things that happened during this event. Well, actually, firstly, before we get to that, is there any questions you have about because the only other, I almost said major, the only other tour event that I've been to was SFO. San Francisco Open, which was basically the event that was happening prior to it moving to Stockton.
Gotcha.
And that was at, I think, Glen Eagles in San Francisco. I did get to go to that. The difference, immense.
Really?
Yeah. The production, obviously, because it's been 6 years or more and everything's blown up with the network and everything. Like, everything, it looked, I mean, obviously there's still some things that can be cleaned up, but overall, like, it was very very well handled, and it looked professional. It felt professional. The players seemed to be treated professionally. The course was a golf course, but the way it laid out and being able to actually walk it was like, these are far holes. Like some of these, like their par threes are like 430, 404. Right.
Puts it more into perspective when you're actually looking at it first person. You're like, oof, that is quite a ways.
And they're throwing that far with a mid.
Right.
Like,
mid-range putters. And you're like,
I'm not even getting near that with a distance driver,
Right.
But it was really cool to walk both days. There were a couple other players there from up this way. We saw a couple of the club presidents, I guess.
Okay. Yep.
Local people were a lot of local people because it's the closest thing to Sacramento area for a tour event. But yeah,
did you follow the main card or the chase card at all?
No. So I got back before the lead cards teed off.
Okay.
So just seeing him okay. So Roger got in, right? He played the previous weekend, the OTB age restricted division, because he's
right.
pro 40, MP 40 division. And then he got into this one just because his rating just got to the point in which he could get in.
Nice.
And he got in, right? So he didn't expect, he wasn't last because there were several DNFs. Okay. So, hey,
I've been there.
You're not last.
I've been there.
You are not last.
Yeah.
You're not last.
Yeah. I've been there.
So seeing him throw and how he was throwing, and then seeing the lead cards throw and going just jaw on the floor.
Right.
And I would have liked to have seen them throw on a grip it and rip it hole. But curious enough, actually, a lot of the holes weren't just distance. After walking it, there was a lot of trees in the way for your landing spots. The ceiling was quite low on a lot of the holes. So it was again, Leonard Muse, I believe, is the one who designed it. Very well designed. I'd say the only thing that, so they had removed a hole in between 16 and 17. So the walk between 16 and 17 was a bit long.
Yeah. Okay.
A bit long.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And I kind of, in the back of my mind figured that it would kind of be that way where, you, because I've been watching so much on DGN, right? Where you're looking at it and you're kind of taking these distances for granted because they're all at the same caliber of play, right? So for the most part, you're just seeing them basically put them in the same areas, right? If they hit their mark or what they're aiming for. And yeah, they may say what the distance is and you might go, oh, that's pretty far, or, while you're watching it, you're like, oh, that might be kind of a lower ceiling. But because the skill is up there, right? They make it look easy,
They make
right?
it look easy, yeah.
So I kind of had this thing in the back of my mind where it's probably not as easy as we think.
No.
Because a lot of these, when you're watching them, because I got to watch, a lot of this while I was doing some other things this weekend. I would look up and, see the hold or whatever. And you're like, this doesn't really look like, it would be that hard, right? They might need to make these a little harder is kind of what I was thinking. But from your perspective, do you think that's necessarily true?
No, I think obviously there were probably a couple of them that maybe, but overall, the lines that were required for the big shots were specific lines.
Right.
They had a lot of little sections laid out for OB or relief and all that stuff. Right.
Right.
And there were a couple guys that threw quite far. There was I'm not going to remember your name. I'm sorry. It was a 14-year-old on Saturday's round, and he was just bombing them. And his roller game was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
That is a good tactic on that course, though, rollers.
Yeah,
I did
quite a few of those.
Yeah. But yeah, it was the layout was much better than in person than you critique it when watching it via the network.
Right. That's what I kind of figured it would be.
Yeah.
If you see these things in person, you're like, that's not as easy as it looks when I'm watching this.
Now, with that being said, there are things that happen that aren't planned that end up causing a little bit of drama, right? There's always the gates that happen at these events.
Sure.
I'd say there were two, kind of.
Okay.
One was prior to the start of the second round. So when you get your cards together, you have to tell them a set of rules, right? Kind of go over a few things.
Sure.
One of them was that, hey guys, we forgot to tell you yesterday, the first round, that there is a relief marked area, right? That you need to throw out of it, because it's specifically because I think one of them was there's some turtles or something that were that were in there, right? There was a lot of turtles in the ponds.
Gotcha.
So I think some of them had some eggs that were being protected. So one of the things is that Eric Oakley went up when they told his card that. He goes, "Oh, well, I played from that area." And they go,
right,
"Well, we're going to have to give you a 2-stroke penalty." Now,
you didn't tell him though.
So here's the thing. Apparently, it was marked on the T sign. I'm not positive, which I guess it would then be in the caddy book, I think.
Yeah.
However, if they're right then and there kind of taking ownership of that,
yeah,
and he's taking ownership and going, "Hey, I played from there."
right.
I think that personally, because here's the thing. He said it. How many other people might have thrown from that section that did not
Yeah, true.
have the integrity to say something, right? Yeah. Because he could have just said, "Okay, I won't throw from there."
Right.
Even though I threw from there last round, I'll remember not, right? So I think that's not good. That's not, if you're taking ownership and saying, "Hey guys, we forgot something," then the round's already been done. The scores have already been completed and submitted.
Right. I think you're absolutely right. And this is why. Because if you have a player that has the integrity to come forward and say, "Hey, I did play from there yesterday," and then you penalize them for being honest.
Yeah.
What kind of, I don't know, sense does that give the rest of the players?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
What message is that sending to the rest of the players? Hey, don't be honest.
Whatever
you do,
exactly.
do not be
just
honest.
Lie. Yeah,
right?
Don't tell the truth.
Just lie by omission.
Yep.
Right. Like, don't volunteer that stuff. Right.
Yeah.
And some people may say, like, dude, keep your mouth shut. They don't need to know. But at the same time, what behavior does that drive?
Yeah. And and that's the thing too, is like, yeah, there is an argument that if it was on the T sign, you should look at the T sign.
True.
Just in case there's something there that maybe wasn't. I get that argument, but it's how it was presented.
But I will say, even legally, you would have an argument, because I've seen this before, where there's a sign that is posted about there's an event going on. You cannot park on this street at this time because of this special event, right? And they posted it way up high on this, basically a post, right?
Yeah.
And the person went to court for this, and they said, "Hey, you know what? I parked there because normally you can, and when signs are posted, they're usually at eye level
height. Yeah.
So that's what I would be looking for. I parked there because I didn't see the sign up there because I'm not used to it being there." And the judge went, "Well, yeah, you're right." Threw it out.
Oh, okay.
So even legally,
yeah,
if you're posting something that's normally going to be, you know what I mean? Like there's a small technicality there where it's like, yes, you should look at the sign. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if nobody said anything about it, why would you think that it would be anything different than it normally is?
Well, yeah, because that's another thing is when you're told those things at the beginning of the round, it's a reminder to say, "Hey, don't forget this."
Right.
So we're telling you this because this is something that's not normal.
Exactly.
Because if there were no turtle eggs or whatever there, then there would be no relief. So it's like going, "Hey, this is an unusual rule, but for this event, blah, blah, blah." The fact that they go, "Hey, we forgot."
On that course.
No.
It just so happened to be because there's a special circumstance.
Yeah, exactly. So that was, and also actually, quick shout out to Eagle and James Proctor. They're actually right at this very moment out at Rockland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I would have, had I had extra time, I would have tried to stop by and say hi. But yeah, they actually, Roger talked to him and they came out for the weekly. And to sell some goods and stuff like that if they can, donate some stuff for giveaway. So shout out to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Eric, it was wrong. It was wrong. The other thing, I don't know if you saw this. So, and I'm horrible with which hole it was.
Yeah.
So there's a hole in which you throw from the tee pad straight over the water, which is mainly on the right side, but it curves over kind of, if you're looking directly at the basket, it does cross, obviously. So you're throwing straight. If you're throwing straight at the basket, you're crossing water, right? And it's the one where the basket is raised and it's tucked in a little set of trees. I think it's 7. I want to say.
I was like, is that 7 or 8?
I think it's 7. And there's 2 big reed bushes at the back right corner, or not corner, but right side of where the basket is, right? Prior to the basket. Madison Walker, I don't know if you saw this. You might have if you looked at social media at all, because there was a whole big deal about there were some divers in there pulling discs.
Yeah, okay.
Did you see that?
I did.
Now, couple things. One, 99.9% of the time that disc is gone, right? It goes into the reeds. It's not making it back inside. I would say he was trying to do the right thing. Good on you, but for that 0.1% chance or 0.01% chance, I don't care how thin, if there was an angled stick rigid enough for that disc to hit, I know this sounds crazy. I know this. Just hear me out.
Okay.
It could have got in, banked off that stick, and gotten just safe enough. There's crazier things that have happened. There's crazier. There are situations where the disc hits a water.
There's a chance.
Yeah. There's a disc hits the water bottle and it stays out. It hits a dog. It hits somebody's foot and it bounces in. Right? Yeah. Right? Uh-huh. Now check this out. So because he got lambasted, dude. He got on social media, right? Yeah. I don't think he did the right thing. However, I don't think he should be attacked for it.
Is it lambasted or lamblasted?
Is lamblasted?
Lambasted?
Lambasted, maybe.
Lambasted seems like they're gonna like take one of those little turkey
I knew you were gonna say that.
Just baste them. Could be right though.
Look it up. If you have a problem with it, email me at nick@discgolfshow.com.
It does exist.
Yeah. No, so Madison got on there and said, I feel bad for the guy because it was out. She goes, the second I threw it, I was like,
she knew
it's not coming back. Right. And she apparently, before she even threw it, she goes, hey, can you get my disc? So yes, she, again, high possibility, pretty much almost 100% chance that it was not going to come back in.
From the look of it too. It wasn't coming back.
Now
in.
check
Unless
this
there was
out.
some kind of freak thing.
How about this, right? Mm-hmm. So she has to re-tee 2 penalty strokes, right? The throw and 1 penalty stroke, right? So she's throwing 3 off the tee.
Yep.
Did you know that there is a rule, PDGA rule, that says if there is any interference other than a player, you get a rethrow without penalty?
Really?
Yes. So after this whole thing ended, where did she finish? I think it was 7th. I want to say 7th. I think she was 7th, maybe 8th. I think it was 7th.
In there.
If she had saved those 2 strokes, or even one of them, let's say she just parred it, right? I don't even know if she single bogeyed that. Either way, let's say she saves 1 stroke.
Sure.
That's a chunk of change now.
True.
That's a chunk of change that should have been deserved. It was interesting because when somebody had posted that and Roger had pulled it up on our drive back and he goes, yeah, did you know? I was like, no, I didn't know that, dude.
I didn't know that at all.
A free rethrow with no penalty. So
if I teed off and hit a squirrel, I could just re-tee. It's not a player.
Okay, so in other instances, I would say this would apply definitely to, well, no, because people have hit, like, I think animals are part of the course.
Are they? Okay.
I want to say.
Okay.
But there have been in the past, back when we did the show back in the day, where the disc was coming in and it hit somebody's water bottle and it stayed out.
Oh, yeah.
Rethrow. Yeah. No penalty. Now, how recent has this rule been applied? I'm not sure when it got implemented, but the fact that it is a rule in the PDGA right now and she got dinged for it is kind of messed up. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah. She should have been able to.
But she's super chill. Obviously, she's not going to be like that guy.
No.
But yeah, it was really, really fun. Going out and walking. It was warm. It wasn't hot. Surprisingly enough, it was like low 80s.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And then yeah, came back home, watched the rest of the MPO event, and while we were out there, you definitely heard FPO finish up.
Right.
You're walking around and you're
yeah, right.
and to that point, Ella finally got her first DGPT win.
Finally.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she's been up there several times over the years, but she was actually closed it out, and she closed it out with what, 7-stroke lead or 5 or something like that.
Yeah. And yeah, she was at -25, which was actually the same score that Paige Pierce had the year before at the same event when she won it as well.
Okay, well that's the
that's the number to hit, apparently.
Yeah, that's the marker, 25 under. Huh?
Which I found kind of interesting. And she came in last year in 4th place. That's 4.
Okay, all right.
So yeah. But this year, yeah, she took it all with the same score that Pierce had. And Pierce, since we're talking about this, much better.
Yes.
Much better on this one.
She did, yeah.
She, like I said, was -25 last year, won the whole thing. But this year she came in 5th, and she was down 6 for that round and down 14 overall, which that's really good.
Yeah,
especially how she's been playing lately. So
Yep.
it's a good sign. I think maybe she's like getting back into it now. Like that rust has fallen off. I'm hoping. Right?
Hopefully.
Getting more comfortable, right? Because I know there is that injury there. So we'll see. Also, another player I'd like to point out is our 2nd place, right? 2nd place. Do you remember who that was? Kat, exactly. And last year she was tied for 8th. At this particular event, and she looked really, really dialed in and focused on this one.
Yeah,
by herself, separated herself from the crowd and took 2nd place outright.
Yep,
and looking much, much better. Now I'm wondering if that'll be consistent.
She has,
because she's been
the
up
talent
there
to do it
all year.
She has the tools needed.
Right.
It's just consistency again.
It's the consistency.
It ultimately comes down to that with anybody, though.
Right. You know who took 2nd place last year?
No, I
under
do
Paige
not.
Pierce? Ohn Scoggins.
Oh, okay. Well,
she took 4th this year, but she took 2nd last year, and she was on fire this year
top
too,
5, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like in this event, I mean,
Come on.
That's one thing I think, and maybe it's because I really wasn't watching last year that much, or really for like 5 years, but I've seen her like, oh look, Ohn Scoggins, she's pretty good. Look at her putt, right? And taking these events, but I've kind of, I don't know, almost discounted her in a way out of the win, but I don't think you can, because she's
no, you can't.
that close.
With her, well, check this out.
Close.
Roger told me during the first round, the hole that's an island hole, that's the 12, I think it is, where it's a constant feed, where the guys were just throwing straight over to the island for a par 3, and the girls, FPO were throwing short and then over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was a par 4 for them. Apparently, Roger told me that Ohn shot up to the edge and drained it from across the for an eagle.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so dude, being there.
Right.
Okay, so from the guy's tee, I think it was 318 all water carry.
Yeah.
You're going all and to an island.
Right.
So maybe coming up, you're at 230, maybe.
Okay.
I would say maybe 2. Let's say 2.
Okay.
Dude, for an eagle to just drain it across a pond, dude, that's so sick.
There were a lot of impressive eagles on both sides, dude, FPO and MPO.
What was it? Cupcake eagled a par 4.
Yep.
Barella eagled a par 5.
Yep.
Which is, I think, was the 1,100 foot or something, 1,070, or maybe it was 1,171.
Yep.
Dude,
Ezra,
walking those holes, I'm like,
Ezra Aderhole on 6.
Ezra was on at this event too.
That eagle was pretty impressive too.
Yeah. Well, he got a course record, -13, right?
Yep. Yep.
or 13 down.
13 down.
That's not negative. That's a bad connotation. Sorry, Brody. Just kidding. Just kidding. I totally agree. I totally get it. He mentioned that in one of the things. He goes, "Can we not say negative? Blah blah blah. It's blah 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 down." And I'm like,
he was talking to you.
I get it.
Yeah,
and I agree. It just came out that way. Sorry.
You better apologize.
Don't attack me.
To our Lord and Savior, Brody.
Yeah. So it was after, dude. Like I sit there and I go, I'm like, I'd have to be on it just to get an even. Oh, like, I mean, I'd have to be so on my game just to get an even out there.
Right. You know, I have parred every single one of those holes in my head.
In your head. Yeah, exactly.
It was easy there.
Yeah. So who else? What else? Who else won?
The guy that did it at the last tour event, making this his second in a row.
Yeah.
Which is, I think we're probably finally, I guess some people may say, going to be seeing more of that. Maybe now he's ready to
get that major,
get out there and get that Heimburg action that I've been hearing about.
Yeah.
Right. Because
lasers, dude.
Mr. Calvin Heimburg, 2 events in a row, which is super impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, which I found interesting, do you know what he placed last year? He was tied. I'll give you that.
6th?
Yep, you're absolutely right. Last year, tied for 6th with who? Do you remember? Anthony Barella.
Was it?
And James Proctor.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I know Proctor did really well last year.
Yep.
He was throwing very well last year.
AB though. Did not do very good.
Yeah.
There's another gentleman that I saw again, and I was happy to see him there. I'm finally into the final round. Macbeth.
Yeah.
Finally, Macbeth. I'm seeing him again. I'm like, yes, we've got it. Right. Going into, I think it was hole 3 even. He was still tied for 5th. Right.
Well, going into that last round, he was 4 back, right?
Yep. And that's where it stopped. He ended up at 18th, and he was tied with AB and Aaron Gossage.
Oh, okay.
That's where he finally ended up. Now, another player that, and we've been seeing him all year in these events, was Wysocki.
Yes.
He had a fantastic final round. I think he went up, I want to say 16 spots at one point.
Oh, wow.
To be tied at 5th place in the final round. 16 spots.
That's a good push.
And then I think he ended up basically 15 spots up overall in that final round to tie at 6th. But that's an incredible push.
Oh yeah.
To go up 16
just
spots
in one round,
the last round. Like, wow, what a phenomenal round for Wysocki. And I kind of want to, I almost feel bad for the guy. He's been playing so good.
He has that gear though. He does have that extra gear. You know?
Absolutely. But he's still in it. And I want to say we're going to see him win at least one of these.
Yeah.
He better win at least one of these because he's so close.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a while.
And he's still that caliber player, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, definitely.
And definitely has been showing it, at least at this last event. So I'm excited for the next one.
I did want to say that Roger's buddy who caddied for him the first round, Chris, just saying, both rounds that I caddied for him, he did better. So every round I caddied for him, he improved.
Yeah, well,
that's all I'm saying. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
So
he wasn't distracted by beauty.
If you're listening,
he was.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Right.
I'm just a little envious of you being able to be on the card with you, Lee.
Did you catch it? I bet you did.
Okay, so couple questions.
He did.
No, I didn't. Yep. I was in here. I was all in here.
That's perfectly fine.
I'll just have to watch it again.
Ooh, are we getting to questions?
Yeah. Yes, we're going to jump into questions.
All right, questions.
Well, seeing as how, Ella and Calvin, shout out to you guys. Good wins.
Yeah.
Okay, so we discussed this on the ride.
Right.
Do you think, since they've renamed the divisions, right? So there's MA for AMs,
right.
MA1, which is that level before pro,
right.
before you try to push.
Right.
MA2, intermediate, right?
Right.
MA3, recreational. Do you feel...
MA4, my division.
Yeah, I know. No, you're a rec. You're intermediate. Well, no, let's start off with a rec.
Okay.
You'll easily get into intermediate.
Okay.
Do you think that an MA3 recreational division should be offered in A tier events, and why? Yes or no?
Why not? Okay. All right. Yes, because even though you're in rec, I think given the opportunity to play in a tournament at that tier would be helpful to those rec players, right? Usually your rec players are your new players, right? Like, why not give them a chance to see what it's going to be like on the A tier? I don't really see a problem with it. I guess the argument against it would be, well, it's going to take more time because now you have yet another division there, right? So I guess I could see that. However, what I don't know is if you're MA3, does the top of MA3, are they eligible for like winnings, like prize winnings? Or
well,
cash,
for the AM divisions, there's no cash for AM.
Well, I mean, for prizes then, I guess, or
they get something. They get something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do.
So yeah, I guess I could see the argument against it. Like, that's more payout, I guess, in a way.
So
I really don't see a problem with it. Is there a reason that they shouldn't be there?
So here's what we discussed. What I discussed with Roger.
Okay.
A couple good points. Well,
I'm interested.
There's some. Yeah. Just look at it this way.
Okay.
There are tiers of events.
Sure.
Right. Pro Tour, A tier, B tier, C tier, XA, whatever. All the other ones. Right. Age restricted. Blah blah blah.
Right.
But just in your general, if you're getting into and I can see both sides, but I'm actually now leaning towards I don't think that rec division should be an A tier.
Okay.
Because if you look at it as tiers like that, you're building, right? You go from an A tier to a pro, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So going to an A tier from a B tier, when you start out, it can be discouraging. Not that it is to everybody, but one, it can be discouraging to see these guys bombing them, right? Yes, you get the experience of the tournament, but you'll get that experience in a C tier tournament.
Sure, absolutely.
You'll get that experience in a B tier. Yeah. So I think that C and B, I feel that there should be all divisions, right?
Okay.
I think A tier, you should do, MA1, MA2, because then that's where you're trying to get into the MA1 division.
Okay.
So you can gauge yourself against those players.
Gotcha.
In the same tournament. And then like MA40, the age restricted, because most of those guys have been playing for a while, whatnot. I think the entry level tiers are best suited for the entry level divisions.
Okay.
Does that make some sense?
I could see that argument too.
I'm not against it, but I'm definitely leaning towards it takes, and again, you could include so many more MA1 or MA2 players in those A tier events, which are those building blocks to try to build your game to ultimately get into tour.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I think, I don't really have a problem with it either way. Like if they were like, MA3, you can't be an A tier. I don't really think that would be a major loss, but I also don't really see it as a major con if they are there. I don't know. Cause it's not like, I guess in my mind where the separation is like there's A tier, then there's like tour level or your pro, right? Like maybe that's why I don't have as much of a problem with it, but because
that's the hard delineation, the hard line between.
Yeah. Right. Like your A to your two, right? Like, so maybe that's why it's not as, I don't know, egregious isn't the right word, but like, it's not as big of a deal.
Well, there's not, I feel like,
if you had them, MA3 restricted to B and C, I don't see that as a problem either.
Yeah, I think that would. I just think it would help clean up, and for honestly, for TD's sake too, because one less thing you got to worry about in that division or in that tier tournament. You're concentrating on those people that are trying to move up and be more professional to get to it. But again, like I'm not 100% against it. But I definitely am probably a solid 75-25.
I could see the argument for not having MA3 there.
Yeah.
And I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's if you guys have your opinion, just shoot in the comment below, and send us an email if you hate my take on that. Nick@discgolfshow.com. So another question, other question for you.
Okay.
If a division has only one person competing in it, should that division even be offered? And if it is offered, should that be considered a win for that single player in their division?
I guess, well, I would generally say no. Don't just throw them into the next division, whatever it is. But there might be a scenario and a circumstance that I'm not thinking of where that probably wouldn't be okay. But I'm hard pressed to find one of those.
I mean, the only,
like, if there's only one, like, I don't know, MA40 or something, right? Just throw them into the MA1 or something, you know, like or give them the choice. You want to go MA1 or MA2? Like, where you at? Right. I don't know. I really don't see that as a big deal. But making an entire new division just for one guy,
I think,
or one person, like,
well, here's the thing, which there are, so as sponsored players, their contracts for wins, everybody knows this, for wins, they get bonuses.
Sure.
So when you're playing in a division by yourself against no one, that's not a win. That's playing by yourself.
That's just,
therefore,
in a tournament.
It's kind of gaming that system.
Yeah. See, that's,
you know what I mean? Like, that's another weird part to it.
I think there's more cons than pros.
Yes.
For you winning in a division and by yourself.
Here's the thing. Maybe, yes, you want to play in that event. Maybe that event hasn't gotten to the level in which it's attracting enough people for your division. Right. It's not a bad thing. It's just how it is at this point.
Sure.
Will it get there? Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Sure.
The way disc golf is going, yeah, it will. But maybe it's just not the right time.
Right.
Maybe just step back and go, okay, well, maybe I'll learn something from moving up a division.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't, but I'll still have fun. You're out there playing disc golf. Maybe you can practice your game so that way when you do go up against other people, enough people in your own division, you're that much more honed in your skills.
Absolutely. Because
you're trying to keep up with this other division.
Yep.
You're seeing their techniques and their lines that they're taking, what they're throwing, how they're throwing, that you can then include into your toolbox.
Absolutely.
So I think, and again, TD purposes,
way less
you're
overhead.
Having this whole other division that person's got to manage.
Yep.
For a single person. I think just because, how do trophies go? First, second, third.
Right.
Have 3 people.
Sure.
Need to create a division.
Then there's at least some kind of competition.
2, at least you're competing against somebody.
Yeah.
But I think a solid 3, that way you have the full set of trophies. You know, I think there should be some sort of specification for divisions to be included in tournaments.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Thought I'd throw that out there.
No,
you know,
that's a good question. I think so.
If you think that I'm wrong,
comments below or
just stop watching. Whatever.
Skipace.com. How's your fantasy league going? Ours, Ken, you won again. It's kind of it's old news at this point. I mean, congrats.
Good for you.
You know, but Nick's not doing too well.
I hope you do great.
He's not doing too well.
I hope you win
He's
the whole year.
Oh, he's definitely.
You're already probably just by what you have right now.
Yeah, he's probably.
You could not play the rest. You could not change out any more people.
Right.
For the rest of the year.
Nick's trying to get a win. That's what's happening right now.
I just want more. I want to beat more people than I don't. Just once. Even if it's even. Because if I get third, I lose to 2, I win to 2, right?
Okay.
This is why I don't gamble, folks. This is why I do not gamble.
That's where I've been at all year.
Like
Third place.
And nobody's
Getting
talking to you. Nobody's
smoked
asking.
by Ken and Ben.
Dude, they
But
are
at
just
least I'm beating
dominating.
you.
They're dominating, dude. And it's so sad too, because during the rounds, my name, I've seen it pop.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
Temporarily.
like, ooh, I might get a first, second. Maybe, that would be cool. And then
Yep.
just drop to fourth.
All right.
Sorry, Roger. Not sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Roger. That's the guy who should be complaining here.
No, he didn't even care. he even said, he goes, dude, I haven't even been switching out my players. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah. And then I go,
He gave up.
Then I go like this. I go, you do realize that when you have your lineup and the bench players, that there's a little green line
Right, if
around
they're
and a red.
playing.
He goes, yeah, what is that? I'm like,
Oh,
so
boy.
Roger.
Hey.
Actually, and the only reason I knew was because I was like, what is the difference? So I looked up the person with the red,
Right.
and I noticed they weren't on the
Yeah,
PDG
I think you actually told me
registration page. Yeah, so I was like, dude,
because I was going through the whole thing of like
switch them out,
looking
Just
up like who was actually
keep-
playing, and you're
listen,
like, no, red. And
I shouldn't have
green,
told him
dude.
because now he's gonna just be beating me, and I'm just gonna be last, guys. I'm gonna be last.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm fine with that.
It's fun.
Hey,
It's definitely fun.
I'm just saying, for the first and second place, there's prizes. So
Well,
I'm just
also,
saying.
I think next year we bump it up to 10 people.
we could.
I think that's what we do.
Yeah.
Would you guys like to join the DGS Podcasters League
Yeah, we'll open it up next year. Maybe
on
we'll open it up some more.
skipace.com? Comment down below.
And then we can just hand out more prizes to people that
We can up the
soundly
We
hand
can,
us
we can
our
up
butts.
it. Yeah. Well, actually, at least have a first, second, third,
Oh, absolutely.
trophies or something.
Yeah, you and I are not eligible
Giveaway
for that
thing.
anyway.
Yeah. So
doesn't
you're only
matter.
battling against 7 other people
So, right.
next year.
True. Next year. Yeah.
Next year, guys.
And you're realistically, you're also battling against Nick, because if you beat him,
No,
then you
I
can
don't
lord
care.
that over
I
him.
don't care.
Yes, he does.
I don't. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he
I
does.
don't care.
See that? See the look in his face?
Maybe
He's
even
so
we get to 20
competitive.
people if a lot of you like it. Then I can lose to 18 or 19 of you.
I'm even more for this.
Perfect. All right, guys.
You know what else I'm even more for?
What's that? Wait. Discounts.
Is discounts. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, you got it.
Knew it.
Did you want to talk about this
Yes.
new
You can
discount
start
that we're gonna
talking
talk
about it.
Okay. And you want to show it? So, would you like to display your favorite disc? Do you have an ace disc? Is there one that you got signed? Is from your favorite pro? Is there some reason that you would want to display a disc somewhere? Well, good. Here's a company for you, and here's a discount for you. And this is just for a limited time. You can use the code DiscGolfShow20 in all caps at discplays.com. That's DiscPlays.com.
Boxes and boxes.
Use that code, save 20% off, and it's only for a limited time. So if you want to get your hands on one of these, do it
quick.
quickly.
Oh,
What
these
are
are
they?
cool.
What are they? Well, he's opening the box for you right now. And these are display cases for your discs.
Disc
And
display.
Disc display. And these things are sweet.
Or sorry, disc plays.
Disc plays, yeah.
Even
but
better.
they're displays. You can set it
Yeah.
up for display. That is awesome. Oh,
They're
This
well
is
made.
heavy
Yes.
duty.
Yes.
like the website does not do these justice.
Yes.
This is wow.
We're probably going to do a giveaway of one of these at some point.
Oh yeah, we have to.
Because they got the hanging things on the back.
Yeah, they already have the.
Yep.
Look at that.
And I've
They
seen
thought about
these,
it.
and I've wanted to get my hands on these. So big shout out again to Disc Plays for sending us some samples here.
Yeah,
But
see,
look,
it's got the
yep,
little,
see, watch the top. The top
bracket
slides open,
brackets.
top slides off. You slide your disc in. Oh, there you go.
Grab this wild honey here.
There you go.
I should actually probably go this way.
Probably, yeah. You need to take the little paper out. Slide this puppy back on. Oh, look, he has disc displays etched in the top too.
Yeah, that's
cool.
pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that.
Right there. Maybe, maybe not.
Okay. And then, oh, this is really hard to do. All right.
Really cool.
Boom.
Super cool.
Yep. And then you got the little nubbies on the back. So there's like these two little rubber nubs on the back where you could like, lean
Well,
up
that way it
against
doesn't
something,
lean.
or
It keeps
little-
it nice and straight.
Or if you mount it on the wall, and then you got your two little anchor points there already that are built into the back. And then the bottom touches the wall. So it's nice and even.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Super
And that looks
awesome.
really neat. Look at that.
It does. It
Makes that
looks
wild
cool.
honey look even more impressive. Look
And
at
then
that.
you get like
The double
9 of
steady
them.
there.
You have a little tic-tac-toe action there.
Oh, there you go.
Or you get like 100 of them because they're awesome. And if you get 100 of them and use
the code.
Disc Golf Show 20, you get 20% off. So you actually only pay for 80 of them.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
That's
It's
staying
up there
right there.
perfect,
That's
too.
staying. Thank you, Disc Plays.
yeah.
Go check them out, discplays.com. So discplays.com
Yep.
and discount code Disc Golf Show 20.
Yep. All
We'll be doing
caps.
another probably video on that as well.
Probably. Yeah. Just get it out there because it's
Yeah.
only for a limited
Yes,
time.
do it
So
now.
Do it now because that discount code is going to go away.
Yes,
And now you got to pay full price. Save yourself some money. They're
Yeah.
really cool.
they're sick.
And it's a very good way to keep that disc in nice shape for a very long, long time. That is heavy duty. I'm actually super impressed.
Right? I was
I was looking at them on the website. I'm like, how good could they be? And then I got my hands on one. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah, like is
touche.
it thin plastic?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking, kind of. But no, that's pretty
Protective.
legit.
Very
Yeah.
protective.
It feels solid and it's heavy. It's heavy, way heavier than I
Yeah.
thought. All right. Do you want to save more money?
Always.
All right, good. Because we're going to give you more opportunities to do that. If you go to discdrifters.com and use the code DiscGolfShow, you can save 25% off of select property. So are you planning a trip to watch that tour event? Do you need yourself a hotel? Do you need yourself maybe some airfare? Well, good, because discdrifters.com can help you do that. And you can save 25% off while you do it by using the code DiscGolfShow. Isn't that great? That's great. Save yourself some money. Do it now. Are you also in the market
Yes.
for maybe a new disc golf bag? Well, good. We can save you some money there too. You can use the code Disc Golf Show. See what we did there? Disc Golf Show. We're making it easy for you. And you can save 15% off of your purchases at Upper Park Disc Golf. So you need that bag. You need that piece of swag. You like something at Upper Park Disc Golf. Might as well just go there, shop, save yourself some money. So use that code Disc Golf Show. Save yourself 15%. This episode was brought to you in part by Final Nine Sports. So make sure you check out their locations if you're here in California and can stop by Rockland or your Orangevale course and support the local shop out here. And if you're not, just support your local place at your course because that's what you should do. If you would like to send us an email or get in contact with us outside of the show and outside of leaving me a comment below on this video, you can use the show at discgolfshow.com and send all of those fun things there.
I have one more thing before
All right,
you
go ahead.
finish this out here.
Go ahead.
To all the locals
Uh-huh.
in the area, cross your fingers.
Crossing.
That new course is
Ooh,
coming up. It's coming soon, guys. It's
is.
coming soon. So I'm going to be extremely interested in your opinions on the layout and all that stuff once it's in. So there's still some cool things coming with that that weren't necessarily planned,
Ooh.
but are going to be a benefit. So
Okay.
big shout out to those stepping up also on the club side of that. So you know who you are. Big shout out to you guys because without the clubs
Right.
at all your local courses, those courses would be gone.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Quick reminder, hit the subscribe and like button. Check out all of our other videos on the channel. We got some good stuff and even more good stuff coming to you. So make sure you're hitting that notification bell so you know when they're coming because you wouldn't want to miss out, right? Everybody else knows and you don't. You're not the cool kid on the block anymore. That wouldn't be cool. But I think that pretty much does it. So for me and for Nick, we'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, in disc golf as in life, aim high and let it fly. Hey, have you stuck around for this long?
We're doing this again?
We're doing this again. If you leave us a comment, should we? Yeah.
Well, we can do that later.
Okay.
We'll find something.
Okay. All right. We're going to give you some stuff. So if you've watched this far, you've gotten all the way to the end of the video, shoot us an email, theshow@discgolfshow.com, and let us know you got this far and what your favorite color is.
Ooh.
And your blood type. What side of the bed you like to sleep on at night? I don't know. That's creepy. Okay. Anyways, bye.
Bye.
Yeah.